On a sunny Saturday, I hopped on the train to go explore Saitama Prefecture. Over 7 million people live in this suburban prefecture right outside of Tokyo, attracted by its affordable housing and slower pace of life. And thanks to its easy train access, many of them commute every day to Tokyo for work. Now, before I moved to Japan, I didn't even know Saitama existed. Tourists aren't exactly flocking here, and honestly, that's because there's just not that much to do in Saitama Prefecture. But one of the things I really like about Japan is that just about every region in the country has its own unique culinary identity. That means you can show up to just about any random town in the country and there's a pretty good chance there'll be a dish there that you can only find in that town. So today I'm in the town of Kitamoto, right in front of Kitamoto Station, and we're gonna go try a very unique local version of the Japanese curry. Now, Japanese curry is already very different to your Indian or Thai curry. It's usually quite mild and often a little bit sweet, but here in the city of Kitamoto, they've come up with an even more unique version of the Japanese curry. And until I started researching for this video, I have never ever heard of this curry before. So I'm pretty sure it will be very difficult to find this anywhere else in Japan. So the restaurant is right next to a very busy highway and also a McDonald's. It's called Miori Udon. But obviously I'm not here for the udon. Instead, this is what I'm here to try, the Kitamoto Tomato Curry. So Kitamoto is known as a producer of tomatoes, and over time they've worked their tomatoes into a number of dishes, and that is how the Kitamoto Tomato Curry was born. So they have two versions here, one with the original Kitamoto Tomato Curry and one with a slightly spicier version, or if you want to be able to try both, you can get the combination, which gives you half and half. So I think this is the one I'm gonna go for. One of the things that surprised me when I was doing research for this dish is not everyone can just make tomato curry and call it Kitamoto Tomato Curry. There is actually a Kitamoto Tomato Curry Association that sets out the regulations and the requirements you have to fulfill in order to be able to call your dish an authentic Kitamoto Tomato Curry. And right now there are a total of 15 restaurants in Kitamoto City that can officially call their dish an authentic Kitamoto Tomato Curry. When you're walking around Kitamoto City, there are advertisements for the tomato curry everywhere, so it's very easy to find one of those 15 restaurants. And this dish is what people in Japan call B-grade gourmet, which is used to describe cheap but delicious local specialties that you can only find in certain regions. And obviously this restaurant is one of them, and here they state the 3 requirements you have to fulfill. So number 1 is you have to use tomato rice, that's the red rice, and number 2 is the curry sauce also has to use a lot of tomatoes, and lastly the toppings on top of the curry also has to use tomatoes. And this is what the tomato curry looks like. So we got 2 sides to this. On the right we have the new version, the spicy tomato curry, and on the left we have the original tomato curry. In the middle you can see the slightly red tomato rice, and you also have this very unique topping on the inside. It's a tomato and they wrap it around with some meat and then they deep fry the whole thing, so the outside is golden and crunchy. Okay, so let's grab a spoon and give this a go. So I'm gonna start with the original tomato curry. Oh, you can see chunks of tomato in there. It's quite sweet. It's even sweeter than your regular Japanese curry. It's definitely got a lot of tomato inside curry. Okay, now I'm gonna try the spicy version. I'm not expecting anything too spicy given this is Japan. Alright, there's a lot of meat in there as well. Not bad, it's just got a little bit of kick to it. Just enough to give it a bit of extra flavor, but nothing too spicy. So even if you're not good with spicy food, this is totally fine. So next, let's mix up some of the tomato rice along with the curry. Whenever I have curry, doesn't matter what country it is, I always like to mix the rice and the curry together. It's just tomato flavor everywhere, inside the curry, inside the rice. So if you like tomatoes, this will be perfect for you. The actual curry part is just like your standard Japanese curry. It's very mild, but then if you imagine that plus a lot of tomato flavor added to it, that's what you get here, the Kitamoto Tomato Curry. Yeah, as far as curry goes, this is very sweet. I think if I had to choose between the spicy and the original, I definitely like the spicy one a little bit better, just because I like my food to have a little bit of kick. In the spicy one, they're also mixing a bit of powdered cheese, and I'm a big fan of cheese, so it's great. And finally, we have the deep fried meat wrapped tomato. I don't know how they came up with this idea. Take the tomato, wrap it with some meat, and then just chuck it in the deep fryer. I mean, this is pretty small, so I guess you can eat it in one bite. But I don't know if you guys saw that, but the tomato is super juicy. So when I bit into it, yeah, it just kind of flew everywhere. Oops. So I think I'm just gonna eat this in a whole bite. Well, that was really good. It's really crunchy on the outside, and inside it's just meaty and super juicy, full of that sweet tomato juice. I don't know how they came up with this, but it was a brilliant idea. And I'm usually not a big fan of vegetables, as you guys know, but I really like this. It's like the tomato explodes in your mouth. This is definitely a delicious and healthy meal. Make sure to check out the next part of my Saitama food tour as I venture deeper into the prefecture in search for more delicious B-grade gourmet. And please hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video.